We're in conversation, of course, with Linda Ndung, the country manager for Bolt. We're talking about what Bolt is doing to empower drivers, of course, for the betterment of us as a society, riders as well. But we were discussing the Accelerator program that has about 20,000 to give to 10 finalists who give their pitches and have great business ideas so that they can grow themselves and their families and make a difference. We're talking about even the economic times and how difficult they have been. But why was it important for Bolt to get into this accelerator program? Especially because someone could have said, oh, you could have done X, Y, Z. You know, people always have ways to spend your money for you.
You roll out a plan and everyone has a new idea.
Yeah,
about
now
the
suddenly
thing.
everyone is idea master.
It's very true. And I think one of the things, I mean, many reasons, but the top one that comes to mind for me is give a man a fish and he'll be hungry tomorrow. But if you teach a man how to fish, then he'll have fish forever, right?
Yes.
And just looking at, you know, the economic climate, because it's not just in Kenya that we're doing this. We did the first one in Nigeria and it was pretty well received. We got some amazing ideas. Like, Africans are so creative, so innovative. We have so much that we want to do, but sometimes the opportunities limit us. And so we realized, actually, this is an area we can tap into. Our driver partners and their families are so brilliant, and they can do so much more. They already do what they do well, right, with offering ride-hailing services. But what if we give them an opportunity to do more? And, you know, we were surprised by what came out of it. And we realized a lot of the times is what we have is a raw gem, right? Like a raw diamond. And it just needs a bit of polishing so that people real value of it. And that's kind of where this came from, because then, you know, if I can do something and someone empowers me to do it even better, then I can do it for life.
I said 20,000. I did not say the currency. Please say the currency so people don't think it's 20,000 shillings. 10
It's
people.
euros, friends. Euros.
Oh my goodness, I'm
Go
gonna do the
check the
math.
conversion rate.
I'm gonna do the math because the
It's
dollar
190
against
something.
yeah, it's 190 something.
I can check, but it's probably in the 190s.
I think it's 200 and something.
What?
Yeah, it's actually
per person.
because it's
Oh, man.
pounds.
Yeah.
So
What
so
time to get
euros actually. So we're looking at a situation whereby you got a proper response from maybe the drivers in Nigeria, the
Yes.
response here in Kenya as well.
Yes.
And we'd like to just know, how do you make sure that your drivers are motivated each and every time? Because sometimes in some spaces you might find drivers complaining, but you find that there is proper engagement and people get to understand that this is why your drivers are up close with the brand.
Yes, and that's something we realized, because it's the nature of our business is you cannot sit in a corner by yourself and run the business, because ultimately the business is between the driver partner and the person taking the trip. And so we've been very intentional last couple of months to years to actually be with our driver partners, to speak with them, to find them where they are, to invite them to come and have conversations with us, tough conversations and also good conversations where they tell us, okay, we like this, we don't like this. You need to adjust this. We think that it would work better if we did 1, 2, 3 together. So a lot of engagement has helped us to come to that place where we mutually understand each other. We know what we can shift. We know what we cannot shift. And so we keep building, because if our driver partners are not happy, then the service levels will not be great, which is not ideal for both the business as well as the drivers themselves.
Yeah, true. And then there's the female drivers as well. It's often sometimes hard to get them because, you know, like once every 5 rides or something, you'll get a female rider. Is there anything you're doing particularly to encourage them to come onto the platform and also to make it more hospitable for female drivers?
Yes, and I must caveat this by saying that the transport industry for females is difficult.
Yes.
I can speak from experience wherever you sit, because it's typically been a very male-dominated industry. It's one of the harder jobs, I would call. It's not a soft cushy, you're sitting behind the desk all the time, right? And so that makes it already, the barriers for women are quite high. And even when you look at it culturally, a lot of men, for example, will not want their wives, their sisters, their daughters to be drivers, right? But we've put in place a lot of things to make sure that the female drivers that come on board with us actually are safe to start with. So we have a whole host of safety measures that I can talk about all day. We have a specific category for women. So then they have the flexibility to decide within that category, I will take this trip because I'm okay with it. I will not take this trip because it might be unsafe, or, you know, something might happen. And these are the kind of guardrails that we put in place. And we also bring them together as women. We speak with them, and we, you know, we listen to their issues. We listen to what makes sense to them as business women as well. Because you'd be surprised, like, women make very good business decisions, and they're very strong entrepreneurs. And in fact, happiest stories I hear tend to be from the female side. So we're still not there in terms of the numbers. The men are significantly more, but we're actively working to get more women on the platform.
I think some of my best Bolt rides are actually with female drivers. First of all, the cleanliness and of course the kind of conversations that you have are actually make your day.
Yes.
And sometimes you get into a Bolt and they look at you and they know this one doesn't want to talk.
They can read the room.
Yeah, they can read the room.
Women are very intuitive.
Yeah, and of course